Hello everyone, Z808 here, and today I would love to share my experience of reaching level 50 and what to expect. And the funny thing is, even though I just made 50 today, I actually also made level 51. Is it a little ironic since it took me approximately about 5 days going from level 47 to 50. The last stretch of 49 to 50 took me almost 3 days. But once I hit 50, there were a lot of quests that I was able to turn in from the Momento, Voyage Momento quest line. And literally, I was able to hit 51 the same day, which is definitely a good change of pace. But with that said, I want to share 5 topics that or wanted to kind of discuss and share my experiences that I would love to let you know, and hopefully that will help you in planning as you get a little bit closer to level 50 if you're not already there. With that said, the first topic is with resources, and of course, the number one question that everyone has is this particular resource is radiant powder. It is so scarce and it's so important because it's what is needed in order for you to upgrade your gears. So the first question I think a lot of people were asking is how much radiant powder does it take to level from level 50 to 60? So here's your answer is 169,100 radiant dust. I mean, that's insane amount just for one item. I already upgraded a few items, so I still have roughly about 200,000 left. But as you can see, I still have a lot. I mean, a lot of items that are still level 50 that I haven't upgraded yet. And this is just weapons. I have not upgraded any of my trinkets yet. Uh, it is very frustrating. So that is something to keep in mind of. It is going to be a very scarce item, and if you're going to be grinding and trying to get more, primary the powder is one of those items that you need to really plan and think ahead and how you want to progress toward end game. Now, with that said, not only are the radiant powder extremely expensive, you also notice that the gold consumption becomes extremely expensive as well. So upgrade this is 135,000, and this is just one item that you're upgrading. So if you have like 1 or 2 million now, and you think, wow, I'm not really spending a lot of gold. No, I'm telling you right now, save your gold. If any way you can exchange gold, save it, get more of it, because by the end game, you're gonna be really short on gold as one of the resources as well. That with that said, another interesting item I would say, or not item, resource that I think we haven't really paid much attention to is this particular one. Let me see if I can. Okay, so let's go here. So if I were to limit, well, not limit break, but to break the level limit, I need these ores, right? So if I don't have the ores, there is an opportunity to use these primordial dusts in order to exchange for the ores. And same thing with the rank up items. Now, I have 13,000. You probably have closer to 20,000. And, raiding or exchanging at lower levels only costs, I remember it was like 20, 30, maybe at 100. Now it's 375. It's not that much if you have 20, 30,000. However, I do want to show you another thing. So if you're at level 50 and going to 60, and now you need 65 legendary radiant ore, see how much it costs. That's right, a whooping 9,050 because I don't have the legendary and the gold ores. That's almost all I have left. So what that means is that if you don't have enough ores to upgrade to the final part, as well as if you're lacking a lot of like the class rank up items for the last couple ranks, you probably won't. It's going to be tough. So that's another very limited resources that you are going to look at. Now, what is not so limited, from what I understand, is the tarot. Let me see what it is called. These called the tarot essences, and I have upgraded quite a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 so far, and I have bunch of other 50s, as you can see, and it didn't feel like I was short of essences. So like for this one here, going from 50 to 60, it only cost me 12,200 essence. And if you look at the amount I have, I can easily upgrade a whole bunch of tarot whispers to the max level without having to worry too much about the cost. So that, from what I understand, should not be a factor in feeling like, hey, I gotta grind and get more of this resource right here. So if anything, the I keep calling it dust, but it's actually, the correct term is the radiant powder. The gold itself right here, any of these upgrade legendary radiant ores, as well as the rank up items, like these rank up items right here, these metals, is gonna be what you really need to save up and get ready for during the end, from starting from level 50, which will be, I consider the end games. So that's about the resources. Now, the next topic I would like to cover is the talent tree. Now, why the talent tree is so important is because it's highly associated with the stats that you're going to get for your different classes. Now, many of you may already know, some of you may not, but for each path, so there are 5 different paths, but for each path, when you hit the platinum rating, which is the final one, there are gonna be these special nodes, and you'll know because they have this rainbow star next to it, and it says enhancement for of all allies. Now what that means is, normally if it's a watcher's path, whatever you upgrade is only for watchers, but for this particular node, and I believe is this node after as well, is actually for every single path. However, each path only have one. So for watchers, I believe is magic defense. For for destroyers, I believe is magical attack. I think this line right here, you're gonna get the magic attack. I believe the seekers, you should be getting up here the physical attack, and then I think the breakers, you should be getting the HP path. And I would assume the defenders would be the physical path, where you're gonna get all these special nodes so that you can upgrade everyone. So that's something you have to think about in the future. You're probably not gonna be able to farm enough of these I guess items, resources, until probably level 50 plus. But that's something to think about. But in the meantime, one very recommended resource for you to max out is these right here, the initial TP. Get as much as those and max them out as quickly as possible, because these initial TP is gonna allow you to do some of the nice combos in order for you to beat some of the challenges, especially if you're pushing content beyond what is a normal 5 to 10 level range. If you're hitting for 10, 15, or even 15 plus, definitely want to max out your TP. So that's what I would say. So much for the talent. So definitely spend some of your stamina farming the star trials. Okay, moving on. Bonds. Okay, so I found this out, and it's kind of interesting, because if if what is like the easiest way to sort of give your characters extra boost, especially if you're just missing a little bit stat, is to give your heroes that 1% by getting them level up very quickly. So I'm gonna use Samantha as a example. So if you are in 0, in order for them to level up is actually super easy, because on a daily basis you actually get 500 Spirit of Hearts. I believe was 500 before level 50. When after I hit yes, I actually no, I think it's 500 still every level because I hit 51. That's what I got 1,000. Okay, so it's 500. So for every day, I got 500, and you literally just need to spend about that much, like a little two clicks, and you can get one person to that 1% very easily. And you should be able to do that for a few heroes, especially the ones that you're pushing content, that 1%. So whatever, hero that you're using and you're struggling because you just feel like you're lacking just a little bit of stats, and you already upgraded all your gears, your talents and whatnot, and you just want to give them just a small boost, that's what I would recommend. Like Papal Guard, where you feel like, hey, I'm barely not able to survive, and I just need that little bit boost, and that's where I would give him that 1%. Because going from level 0 to 1 is very little. It's only 10,000. But going from 1 to 2, it's a whooping 90,000, and it takes a lot more. So I would highly recommend to boost that 1% if that's what you really need to clear the content that you need. Okay, the fourth topic I would like to mention is your gear and starting up gear. And what I'm talking specifically about is like these right here. So once you are able to clear up to level 60, if you're able to hit 65 clearing for the weapons, you get a very steady amount of legendary weapons. From what I understand, for once you hit level 65, you can get anywhere from 1 up to 3 legendary weapons on a daily basis just by sweeping. So far, I have got 1 a day, and then 1 day I got 2. But I know some people got 3 in a day. But I have never seen anyone have gotten 0, at least from what I heard of, once they hit the 65 mark. So the chances of you getting 0 is actually almost impossible. That's my assumption. It's not impossible, but almost impossible. You should get at least 1 to 3 on a daily basis. So what does that mean, though? What that means is that because you're so limited in this resource, which is I keep saying dust, but it's a radiant powder, right? You're very limited in the radiant powder. In order for you to upgrade your hero and make them stronger, it's better to combine your dupes. For example, like this axe, if I have 3 and if I already upgraded them, then I will add them up together. It's because it's a huge difference, right? Like for example, this is voice stab. If you look at the 1 star, which is crit plus 3%, right, and compared to a 5 star, which is at 15%, that's a huge difference. And if you look at, right, another item, for example, let's look at the double-sided halberd, for example. If it's at 1 star, you get physical attack by 5%, increased damage by 3 up to 9. If you go to 5 stars, the 5% doesn't change, but the damage goes up already to 24%. That's like astronomical increase in damage. So, and then also you also get the base stats that also goes up as you level up the stars. So that's what I would recommend, that if you already have an item that is level 50 plus, and you know that's one of like either best in slot or close to best in slot, or an item that that can be shared among many other units within your team, highly recommend using the dupes to start up. So I have 1 here, I have this another here, I have this one here. So I've been using the dupes. Now, one thing I do not recommend is for you to start up your trinkets. Not quite yet. And the reason why is there's no efficient way or a regular way for you to gain additional trinkets on a regular basis. Is very scarce. It's very difficult to get trinkets. So if you get the really good ones, like the book, for example, or even like that, like this hat is really good, but I can't even upgrade it because I don't have the resources, for example. Then that is something that you do not want to do at this moment. Do not start up your trinkets. Maybe after you hit level 60 and you just swimming with them, you can. But at this moment, I highly do not recommend you starting up your trinkets. Save them. Chances are you're probably gonna need them. So that's so much for the gears. And last part of the thing is that chances are you may be like me, where you're once you hit 50 anyways, you're already finished all your chapters, including all the hard stages. So you might be like, I don't have really think anything to do. Already finished all my weapons and my tarots. Spiral of Destiny. Spiral of Destiny. They have a great story. A lot of if you look at your voyage map, you can see there's a lot of different paths that you can take. I only got one ending so far, and I started on another one. Great story, highly recommended. And in addition to that, you also get a lot of rewards that you may not notice in the beginning. But I know from what I hear, the higher um, uh, let me get the correct term, the higher knowledge that you are, I think you can go up to over 100 something. There are some really great rewards that comes with it. So if you are hitting the limit of being able to gain additional resources, this is another great way by doing Spiral to gain additional resources. But yeah, that's really it for me today. I'm not, hopefully this will you find this helpful, and if you do, love to hear from you down in the comments below. And I would really appreciate if you don't enjoy the content and if you want to hear more from me, to subscribe, give a like, and let your friends know. With that said, thank you, take care, and aloha.